So this year's MVP race is going to be really interesting because we don't really know who's going to win the MVP. There's not a guy who's like a for sure favorite right now. Earlier on in the year, the for sure favorite was Steph Curry. Then it was Kevin Durant. Then it was kind of Giannis. But right now at this point, it's like a kind of race between guys like Giannis, Embiid, and now Nikola Jokic. And honestly, I feel like out of all of them, Nikola Jokic has been slept on a lot. And that's led me to make this video where I'll basically just be discussing Nikola Jokic's case for the 2022 NBA MVP. Before we get into the video, I ask you to drop a like on this video as it does help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want daily NBA content. Also, if you want to reach my goal of 3,000 subscribers, also drop a comment on this video as I do respond to all of my comments, and play that intro. To talk about Nikola Jokic's actual case to win the MVP, by far the thing that's in his favor is the fact that right now as we're speaking, he's putting up the best numbers in the league. And I don't mean some of the best numbers in the league. He's not just putting up superstar numbers or something like that. He literally has the best stat line in the league, and it's not really that arguable. Obviously, we've seen it with MVP awards in the past. If you want to win the MVP, you have to put up some of the most impressive stats in the league. And the fact that Nikola Jokic has been doing that is something that definitely factors in his favor. At the making of this video, Jokic is averaging 26 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, shooting 57% from the field and 37% from 3. At this point, he's an elite scorer, elite rebounder, elite passer, and he's doing it on historic efficiency. No one is better than him right now when it comes to their box score stat line. And for all you guys who are nerds, you guys should know that Nikola Jokic is actually leading the league in a lot of defensive metrics, like advanced metrics, and he's literally historically great when it comes to his efficiency. He's literally if you go on the advanced stats, he's literally top 5 in literally everything, even on defense. And you might be saying, oh, all this advanced stuff, he's probably not that good of a defender, they're just weird or some of his teammates. But I promise you, when you watch the game, this guy's actually a really good defender for his position. He's actually improved from going from a liability to now being a really good defender. This guy's putting up crazy good numbers and is impacting his team. The other reason he should be maybe the MVP is because he by far has been the most impactful player to his team this season. The MVP award stands for the most valuable player, and I believe Nikola Jokic has been the most valuable player in the league. First of all, when you look at his team with him on the court compared to with him off the court, when he's not on the court, they're one of the worst teams in the league. They're literally competing for the #1 pick in the draft. But when he's on the court, they're literally a championship contender, top 5 team in the NBA. That's a huge showing of impact. And also, just look at the roster surrounding him. They're not really good. His second best player is Aaron Gordon, and Aaron Gordon's a guy who should be your 3rd or 4th best player. Probably not even your 3rd, your 4th or 5th best player. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. been injured all year. It's really tough out there for him, and he just has a bunch of average to below average players playing. He has a bunch of guys who wouldn't be playing on a good team. But Jokic is still leading to a 6th seed in a tough Western Conference. That's very impressive, and he's doing it while putting up the best stats in the league. That's definitely something that should be in his favor. To name some of the reasons he probably won't be able to win the MVP, the most obvious reason is due to the fact that at the making of this video, his team is not usually good enough to win the MVP. To be honest, there is a chance he could win it, and I'm going to give the argument why. Because right now, his team's the 6th seed, and they're only 7 games above 500, and literally 95% of the time, no MVP is winning the award with his team less than a 5th seed. But the one time we did see it recently was when Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double, and he was leading his team most impactful player in the league. And you might be thinking, the only reason Russell Westbrook won the MVP that year because he had a historical season, averaging a triple-double, being the first player to do that. He was also by far the most valuable player to his team. You look at the on and off numbers, and to that I would say Nikola Jokic is basically having a similar type of season. He's averaging historical numbers, one of the most efficient scorers in league history, and his stat line is something that I don't think any other player in NBA history has been able to do ever. He's also doing this at the center position. He's changing the game, and I'm not here to say that Nikola Jokic's season is better or worse than Russell Westbrook's. What I'm saying is it is a historical season. Like, it's really historical. And I think it should be like a little bit ignored that his team's not as good. Especially when you realize that the team on his talent is not good at all. It's not like his team has a bunch of talent and they're just struggling and he's putting up good stats. He's literally on a bad team carrying them, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. If he doesn't win the MVP though, it's definitely going to be because of the lack of winning. Another reason you might be thinking Nikola Jokic won't win the MVP is because of voter fatigue. Because if you know, Nikola Jokic won the MVP last season, and maybe voters will just get annoyed and not vote for him because he won it last season. Sometimes that happens. But to be honest, I don't think that's going to be a huge factor due to the fact that it's not like LeBron or Giannis where they won multiple MVPs. He only won one MVP, so I doubt they would be really that mad. Also, Nikola Jokic has been the best player in the league this season. I don't care what you say. And I'm a LeBron fan. I would love to say LeBron's the best player, has been the best player, but Nikola Jokic has been the best player. No one's talking about him. I think a big reason he might not win is because the media just sleeps on him way too much. They don't like talking about him no matter how good he plays, period. It's kind of messed up, but he's playing amazing. Nikola Jokic is great. He definitely has a case, but there are stuff that is in the way. But to conclude the video, Nikola Jokic is definitely at the top of the MVP race. Right now, there's very few people I put above Nikola Jokic. Clearly over Steph Curry. Steph Curry had a good start, but he had way too long of a bad stretch. Steph Curry could definitely make a comeback if he goes crazy, but right now he's not above Jokic. Kevin Durant would be above Jokic if he hadn't gotten injured. LeBron James is not over Jokic. He has a worse record and is putting a worse stats on a better team. The only guys who I think are above Nikola Jokic is Giannis Antetokounmpo and Joel Embiid. And to be honest, you could argue Jokic is above both of those guys because he does have like kind of similar records and he's putting up better stats. But as the year goes on, I think it's a higher chance that Joel's team, the Sixers, and Giannis's team, the Bucks, go and become like a top 3 seed in their conference. Whereas I don't think the Nuggets have a chance to be a top 3 seed in their conference. It's kind of like set in stone. They're going to be like a 5th seed at best. Maybe the 4th seed if they go crazy, but I doubt they'll go crazy. Jokic is already playing as good as he possibly can. I don't think they're going to start winning more games. Maybe if Jamal Murray returns like it's been reported, but I doubt he'd like return and be full strength. But you know what I mean? I just give those teams a better chance of becoming like good and being at the top of the conference, and that's the difference. But Jokic has been amazing. I'm giving him all his flowers. I am not sleeping on him at all. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Let me know whether or not you think Nikola Jokic should be the MVP. Drop a like on this video to help my channel grow. Subscribe to my channel if you want daily NBA content. Also, if you want to go 3,000 subscribers. Also, drop a comment on this video as I do respond to all of my comments. And play that intro.